Hello, good evening. Welcome everyone. I'll just wait just for a few minutes for people to join and come in as and when they can, or if they want to, if they can see me. Just move a few things out of the way. Okay, well let me first start. This is another one of my weekly videos. Yes, I'm at it again, so to speak. And this one today's about, as it says on the tin, lessons from Westminster Abbey and my recent visit there. And kind of the question, if you like, that I put out there with a video is, if I can remember it now, is like, what is your legacy? And this story which I'm gonna share is very much about legacy. What are you leaving behind when you leave this earth? What and what impression of the world do you want to have? And I think it's very important. I think it's very important to think about it, not in terms of a morbid, horrible way of dying, but a legacy can be very important, because what you do is, can have a tremendous impact on the world. What you do in your life can have a tremendous impact on the world after you leave it. So I'll talk about that today, and I'll see if this piques your interest. So got to watch us. So hey Keely, how you doing? I'm just sharing a lesson, Keely, on legacy, and I've had a visit to Westminster Abbey. I think it was last week. And so yeah, just a few things come up, and I thought, oh, that would be interesting to create a video about that. So I'll start, and if you bear with me, if you continue to watch, then they'll be great. So the recent visit to Westminster Abbey, I mean, if you're not familiar with Westminster Abbey, it's next to the Houses of Parliament, and in it it's still a running church. Hey Greg. It's still a running church, and many famous people there. 3,500 people live there. Live there, buried there. 3,500 people about buried there. So you've got some like Edward I, Edward the Confessor, Elizabeth I, Queen Mary I is there, Bloody Mary, she's there. Sir Isaac Newton. Oh, thank you for the thumbs up. Sir Isaac Newton's there, and 3,500 influential people who have just done great things. Our kings and queens and so on and so forth. So it's a great place, and I recommend it if you ever get a chance to go there. And a tour is also recommended. So I had a tour with one of the vergers. It was a fantastic tour, and the highlight actually was seeing the tomb, or the shrine of Edward the Confessor, who's our only king to be saint, to be ordained. I think it's the word, not ordained, no, canonized. Anyway, there's no one to become a saint anyway. So it's a shrine now, and people come like on a pilgrimage, and they come there to worship, and it's to go. I mean, to go. It's a fantastic thing to see, and surrounded by on this shrine, and the Confessor's tomb is other tombs as well. So you've got Edward I, the Hammer of the Scots, if you like. He's there, and then I can't remember who else is there. I don't think it was Henry V. Henry V and his wife was there as well. So yeah, surrounded by other kings and queens of England. So yeah, great place. And this and you can't see it. You can't see it normally. You have to become part of the tour. So we was taken home by the verger. And we was left in the shrine area just to look around and see what was and just explore the area. And then I was looking around the tomb of the shrine, and there was these etchings or scratch marks on it, and I'm thinking, God, terrible. This is people have actually defaced this, and I thought this is absolutely horrible. You know, this is 1066 was when Edward the Confessor died, so it's been around for nearly 1,000 years, and you think that's terrible that people can just come in here and deface this. But as I looked closer at these scratches, which I thought was graffiti, it became clear that they were actually etchings, and what people had done was inscribe their name or a date on there, but the dates are hundreds of years old. So you've got like 1730 something, and then I found another one of 1600s, and then I looked closer and I searched around a little bit more, and then I started to find names, and I saw a name of Thor. I think I'm sure it read Thor, and it kind of just brought me back to the moment, and amazing my imagination, and just bringing it back to the fact that people would come here hundreds of years ago to worship, and they wanted to leave their mark. So it's like such and such was here, which is in effect what they were doing, and it was like, well, this is amazing. They've brought them by doing this. They've left their mark. They left their impression on this tomb, and this was a moment in time that they've done this. So I just thought it was fascinating. So it was their mark. It was their impression of the world. At that moment in time when they were doing it. And now they're gone. They're long gone. We don't know who they are. We don't know where they've gone. But they were there, and that's their mark. It was, I don't agree. But I spoke to the verger about it. He said, "No, graffiti is nothing new." He said. Which I thought was actually quite fascinating. Graffiti isn't nothing new. It's a graffiti started hundreds of years old, and you think back to the caveman paintings, and in some respects that was graffiti. But depending on your point of view about graffiti, it's like a marking of what it is. And then my mind started to drift back and think of all the other kings and queens and other hundreds and other thousands of influential people that are buried there, and what they've done, and their impression of society, and what they've left, and so it begs the question, really, what is my legacy, and what am I leaving? What sort of impression am I leaving on the world? And I don't, So when I leave this earth in whenever it is time, could be tomorrow. You get run over by the 69 bus if you want, but let's hope it's not going to be that sudden or violent. But that could happen any time. So what impression do you want to leave on the world, or do I want to leave on the world? So is it would it be like a monument? That doesn't really sit well. Is it something perhaps more deeper or influential? Would it be something subtle or something obvious? And I love the quote. It's inscribed in St Paul's Cathedral, dedicated to Sir Christopher Wren, and this was the quote created by his son, and it says, "If you seek his monument, look around you." And I think that's just a beautiful quote, a beautiful thought-provoking quote, and because that means so much more than what he's built. It doesn't necessarily mean what it means is it doesn't mean the buildings or the monuments that people create, and they're going to be there for years and years and years. It's the intangible stuff, not the tangible stuff. It's like the intangible stuff. So it's like your relationships. It's the interactions and the impressions and the way you treat people on a daily basis. Your friends, your neighbours, the stranger. I don't like to use the word stranger, but people who you've never met before. People who are perhaps in need, and they need some help, and perhaps you've stood for a good cause or something. Now that's the true impression on the world you want to leave, and that would be a great legacy to have. So going back to the original question, what impression do I want to leave on the world? It's quite quite thought-provoking. I see I've had a few people come in, and I know you've gone off, so I just wanted to say hi to you all. So hello, I'm sure you've gone now, but hello Keely, Greg and Rachel and Paul, thank you very much for joining me. If you wanted to come in and out, please feel free to. If you're still here, of course, I'm not quite sure, but carry on listening. If you do come in, then just leave a note or a comment or something, and just leave, if you want to, what do you want to be remembered for, and what would be your legacy. So thought-provoking question for you. So to answer, I think the original question, what is my legacy? I think you have to ask actually another question. Would be, what am I doing every day? What have I done today to leave an impression on this world? And only by doing stuff every day can you really leave a legacy. You can't rush it all and just fill it in at the end. You've got to start now. You've got to do stuff every single day. So every day, every moment would be an opportunity to leave a legacy or an impression on the world, because we don't know how long we're going to be here, and we don't know, and it's important to do as much as we can to leave that impression. So just think about that for a moment. So if I can elaborate a little bit more on what my legacy and impression of the world might be, it's about giving my best and being my best, trying to be my best every day. Being in relationships, every relationship that I have, being with a close and intimate relationship, being it with being a son, being a great son, being a great brother, being a great and amazing friend would be a fantastic legacy to have. Being an amazing coach, stepping in and serving my clients to the fullest and to the deepest when I'm there talking to them and being there and present with them. That would be a fantastic legacy to have an impression. Meeting people who I've never met before, treating them and having a fantastic impression on them, treating them with the love and respect and care that they deserve. Treat them like a friend who you don't know, a friend who you've never met before, something like that. When I step in and serve my clients in my finance business, serving them to the fullest. Being an outstanding field official, so whether it be a local open meet or whether it be an international world championships, I'm there giving my best, making sure that this athlete has an incredible competition, and just stepping up and being the best there. So it's important to without repeating myself anymore, it's doing stuff on a daily basis and having an impression today and now and being in the moment will then serve you and then create your legacy when you're no longer here. So that is how I think you leave an impression on the world. So what is your impression and what do you want to leave? So if you're watching this video, I don't think anybody's watching it now, but if you watch this video at a later date, think about the question and post some comments below, and not necessarily think about doing it, but start to do it. Start to do things every day that's going to have a massive impression. So that cause or that charity that you want to stand up, that thing you want to stand for. If you're into equality and you really want to create a change for generations to come, then step up and start making a change in that area, and do something. When you interact, if you dislike the way people are treated, be the one to step up first, and acting like that great person that you are, and influencing people. That's the way to create change and legacy. I suppose if you're like we had like with Christopher Wren, his monument is the St Paul's Cathedral, which is just a beautiful and fantastic building, but the quotes of what was it, his, if you seek his monument, look around you, or if you seek his monument, look around you. It's when you do go there as well, and you look around you, it's the people that have come in to visit and appreciate him as well. So that's also very thought provoking. Hundreds of years after that, he's built this incredible building. People still come to flock and visit, and they admire it and they enjoy it there. So it's not just the building; it's what people come to and enjoy there as well. So I think I'll leave it there for now. I don't think I've got anybody watching as such, so I can't necessarily interact any more than what I have, just to share the lesson. But thank you very much for watching. If you're going to rewatch this, I do appreciate it. And just think about it, because I think it's the more we think about the future and what we want to leave after we're gone here, the more that we can live every day like it. And I think that's the true legacy, living every day like it, as opposed to when we're gone. So instead of watching this video, what are you waiting for? Go out and start leaving your legacy. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next week, same time, of course. So same time at 7 o'clock. Take care. Bye bye.